Hi guys! Today we're going to talk about the elements of cause and effect writing. Specifically, we're going to discuss identification of causes and effects and our response organization. In order to discuss identification of causes and effects, we have to understand the meaning of two words. The first word is correlation. Correlation means a connection between two or more things that shows common association. So for example, a correlation for your class is all of the students are in the same section. Causation is a link between two or more things that establishes a reason-result relationship. So the causation, or the cause for you taking ENG 140, is going to be different than for other students who are taking the course. So let's look at a scenario. I want you to understand correlation does not equal causation. Here's an example. A class of 25 students takes a math test. Of the 25, 13 students use a pencil. The other 12 use pens. All of the students who used a pencil passed the test. Can we say that using a pencil caused the 13 students to pass the test? Of course, the answer is no. But why not? Well, we have to look at correlation and causation. The correlation is that 13 students use a pencil. That's a common factor among those 13 students. 12 students used a pen. That's a common factor among them. However, for causation, passing an exam does not depend on the kind of writing instrument a student uses. Passing an exam depends on the quality and accuracy of the answers a student produces. So in this case, we cannot say that correlation and causation are the same. What happens when causes become effects and vice versa? We've discussed the chain reaction or the domino effect, how one effect can lead to another effect and it continues. But let's look at an example. Because students want to earn high marks, they study hard for exams to pass. There's two parts to this sentence. The first part, because students want to earn high marks, is the cause. The second part is the effect. They study hard for exams to pass. So we can say that motivation can lead to success. The motivation is wanting to earn high marks. The success is passing the exam. But we can also say when students pass their exams and do well in their courses, they pay more attention to their studies and assignments. So in this case, the cause is that they've passed their exams and they've done well, and the effect is paying attention to their studies and assignments. So we can say that success can be a motivator. In this case, motivation and success can both be the causes and the effects. Let's look at a couple of examples. What are the causes and effects of exercising a lot? In previous lectures, we've discussed the different categories of causes and effects, and we've also talked about making sure that we identify both positive and negative effects of things. So let's look at some positive effects. Reduction in or maintenance of weight, strengthened muscles, greater self-confidence and self-image, improved health, extra energy. And let's note that these are both causes and effects of exercising. So, because you want to reduce weight, you exercise and you reduce your weight. Are there negative effects of exercising? What about physical injuries or losing too much weight? There's also the psychological component of addiction to body modification. Some people can never lose enough weight, be too skinny, or have big enough muscles. And this can lead to an unhealthy psychological state. So let's look at a second example. What are the causes and effects of using the internet? Again, we'll look at the positive and the negative. Access to knowledge, learning about different cultures, maintaining relationships with long-distance friends, entertainment, and again, these are both causes and effects of using the internet. What about the negative effects? Too much computer time affects your eyesight. Sources and users can't always be trusted. There's a lack of personal privacy. And you can also develop an addicted psychological state. Now it's time to look at the organization of your cause and effect response paragraph. In the previous lecture, you worked in groups to come up with a practice response based on some suggested components. Now we're going to look at these components and look at how to arrange them in an organized response. Cause or effect writing. So when we begin practicing, we're going to be looking at the causes or the effects of something. In order to do cause and effect writing, we first need to be able to successfully establish one or the other in an organized, cohesive paragraph. So the beginning of cause or effect writing responses introduces the main topic by giving background information. For example, if we look at the article, How Reading Benefits the Brain, we can say, reading is one of the oldest and most popular hobbies that people around the world enjoy. It's entertaining and relaxing, and it allows the reader to escape real life for a short time. This identifies the topic of reading, but it doesn't give the reader a direction for your paragraph. This comes in the second part, when you include a thesis sentence that identifies the purpose for writing. For example, besides being a fun pastime, it also has several benefits on the health and brain. So now we know that this paragraph is going to discuss the benefits of reading. The central or most important part of your response is when you discuss a minimum of 3 causes or effects of the main topic with supporting details. For example, 2 of the biggest effects reading has on the brain are that it improves memory and makes the brain active. Please note that the example states 2, but you're going to be including a minimum of 3 causes or effects. And the final part of the paragraph concludes by summarizing causes or effects, and you can also identify the most important one or offer your opinion. So now we're going to look at a couple of examples. But before we do so, we're going to look at how we put the paragraph together. So if you'll notice, the middle box is much larger than the left and right boxes. That's because that is the focus or the main part of your discussion. The introduction is 2 to 3 sentences, and the conclusion is 1 to 2 sentences, but the central part of your response paragraph needs to be the biggest part. So you're going to clearly identify each cause or effect. You're going to give a supporting detail or example for each cause or effect. You're going to include APA citations for your reference, which is going to be the article that you use to obtain supporting information for your response. This is a sample causes paragraph. The topic is causes of migraine headaches. You may now pause the video in order to read the response on the screen. Take note of the thesis statement that identifies that there are 3 causes of migraine headaches. Now we're going to look at a sample effects paragraph. The topic is the same, effects of migraine headaches. Again, please pause your video and read the response on the screen. Please take note of the thesis statement that identifies that there are 3 effects of migraine headaches. Before we continue on, I also want to draw your attention to the reference underneath the response. If you'll notice, throughout each response, there are at least 2 to 3 internal citations that reference the article that was used for supporting information. We'll talk more about this in class. One of the best ways to help you organize your ideas before writing is to complete a graphic organizer. A graphic organizer is a visual representation of the information that you'll include in your response. This is an example graphic organizer of a cause-effect relationship. The topic, migraine headaches, goes in the center. On the left, we have causes of migraine headaches, and on the right, we have effects of migraine headaches. And this way, we can see the cause-effect relationship and how they lead to each other. Thank you for watching. Please join me in class next week where we'll look at these ideas in detail and we'll further explore the sample paragraphs for causes and effects of migraine headaches. Have a great weekend.